Pretty interesting news in the Tyler Robinson case, who is due back in court, I believe, later, I think Monday or Tuesday. He has now been appointed his lawyer, a Democrat lawyer, who puts their pronouns in the bio. Apparently, I don't know if they're, I don't know. Here's Tyler Bauer saying sick stuff. One thing I will say, it's a public defender. So I don't know if you can even choose that or whatever the case is. But now what's interesting is our taxpayers will now foot the bill. Utah County hires attorney to represent Tyler Robinson. Catherine Nestor has been a trialer in the federal and state court system for more than 30 years. Utah officials announced Wednesday afternoon that the county had contracted with a prominent public defender to represent Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old man accused of taking the life of Charlie Kirk. So this wasn't even like a choose your own adventure, or choose your own defender. This was somebody who, the state had to go out and contract with some high-profile public defender so that the taxpayers could all pay the bills. Robinson faces the potential death penalty if convicted. Utah County prosecutors charged him with 7 counts, of course. Now, what I find interesting is, as of right now, his roommate is still presumed on the run. Nobody has seemed to report anything around this roommate staying with friends or family. Yesterday, I reported that he had left his house or his car behind and left his apartment. And what's very interesting is I think he's in federal custody, is actually what I think is the case. The Economic Times writes, safe space or vanished. The trans roommate of Tyler Robinson missing after the Charlie Kirk assassination. Now, is he in witness protection? That's what I think. I think that he was a part of it. I think he knew, and I think the state turned him into a witness, and they're protecting him. They say he's been reportedly cooperating with authorities since his gay lover, Tyler Robinson, also 22, took the life of Charlie Kirk. Now, mail was spotted piling up outside the $1,800 a month townhouse the couple shared, as backlash from the public jeopardized his safety, and cops are still a presence in the Quake community even 2 weeks after Robinson was cuffed. Now, I talked about this yesterday. As of right now, we don't know. We still don't know where he is. He's still missing. As far as I have not found any reports to say that, he's been found or, hey, he's staying with family. And I find that very concerning. I find that very, very concerning. I find it very concerning if he's in witness protection, because I firmly believe that he knew about this, that he partook in all of the planning and perhaps even the execution of the plan. That's my belief. I can't prove that. I don't know that for a fact. Tyler Robinson, of course, his partner fleeing the house. I just want to give you an update on this. And also, interesting news today, Charlie Kirk's accused assassin also encountered by police during his return to the crime scene. Now, we don't know if they had any kind of picture of him at this time, so we don't know if they would have any reason to believe that he, was involved with it. This says Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old accused assassin of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, made contact with a police officer near where investigators recovered the alleged weapon wrapped in a towel in the woods at the edge of the campus. It happened around 6:30 p.m. on September 10th, roughly 6 hours after the sniper bullets struck Kirk as he was engaging with an audience member at a speaking event at the UVU chapter in Orem, Utah. The officer was guarding the perimeter after authorities placed the campus on lockdown, and the encounter appears to have thwarted the suspect's attempt to recover his Mauser 30-06 rifle prosecutors allege was used in the crime. Prosecutors released excerpts from text message conversations where they say Robinson with his roommate and romantic partner Lance Twiggs had occurred at an unspecified time on the evening of September 10th. when we already went through those text messages. So when they say encounter, I don't know what that means. I don't know what exactly that means, to be honest with you. I don't know. Did a cop talk to him, stop him? I don't know. But it's very, very odd. And it's to me, again, there's a lot about this case that people don't really know. There's questions. There's all sorts of wild, crazy theories about, that people are saying, oh, his microphone exploded. I mean, all this crazy stuff. I saw Alex Jones say, I can now 100% confirm that it wasn't a 30-06, which, I love Alex, but no, he cannot 100% confirm that. I think it's entertainment. I love conspiracy theories. Sometimes they end up being true. I don't have a problem with them existing. I just feel like in this particular case, it feels a little icky. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm not judging them. I'm not doing any of that stuff, but it's very interesting. Now, what they're talking about his defense is he has very limited options. He's being held without bail. Utah County Jail prosecutors say we already know what he did. Defending Robinson is proving to be no simple task. Utah requires attorneys in the death penalty case to have prior trial and capital case experience, which is why they had to hire this woman, and at least 2 must be appointed. That level of commitment can consume a year or more of full-time work, experts told Fox News Digital, forcing lawyers to set aside other clients and personal obligations. Well, it's not like they're not getting paid. Let's dial, let's dial that back. The taxpayers are paying for this. We know that much. So, I just reported on that earlier in the video. It's a huge undertaking to represent someone in a case like this. Utah criminal defense lawyer Randall Spencer, who has handled multiple high-profile cases, told Fox News Digital, it really is a sacrifice for defense attorneys who take on this kind of work. I mean, again, I don't really view it that way. They're getting paid, and I assume they're getting paid well for it. So I'm not really sure why they're trying to act like they're a hero in this. Spencer said counties typically pay far less than the true cost of such representation. Oh, okay. I retract. And this work is often underfunded. If qualified local counsel can't be found, the court can admit outside attorneys, though Spencer expects Utah will provide experience in state representation. There will be very good counsel found likely within Utah, Spencer said, but others warn the state isn't well prepared to quickly handle a case of this scale. Randolph Rice, another veteran attorney, said Utah's system leaves significant gaps. The current contract between Utah County and the Public Defender Association does not cover the costs of hiring a death penalty lawyer and experts, Rice said. This means separate contracts and ultimately taxpayers footing the bill. Even lower cost cases require years of work and specialized experts, from mental health evaluators to jury consultants. Now, I don't care for this. I don't care for lawyers being forced. Taxpayers being forced to foot the bill, but that is basically the way it is. He will now remain in a special housing unit despite his mental health evaluation. This broke earlier today. The Utah County Sheriff's Office confirmed that Tyler Robinson, the suspect accused of taking Charlie Kirk's life, will remain in a special housing unit at the jail even after completing a mental health evaluation. Ray Ormond, the Utah County Sheriff's Office sergeant, said Tuesday that Robinson has been evaluated by the jail's mental health and medical staff, but will continue to be held in a special housing unit. Robinson has said to have been seen by our medical and mental staff due to the patient privacy regulations. I'm not. So either they said he's crazy or not. I don't know if he did get paid, or if they said he's crazy, or they said he has thoughts of self-harm. I don't know. They're not telling us that. Asked whether or not Robinson will remain in solitary confinement indefinitely, they said that's not set in stone, and his housing location may change down the road. I want him to remain where he is, and I want him to not. I want him to make it to trial. I don't have any interest whatsoever in this dude being in general population where somebody can make themselves famous. I want this guy to make it to trial. You know, they did the full mental health evaluation, but I don't know. His public defender isn't exactly the lowly public defender people might think of when they're talking about public defenders. This is somebody who has experience, who has tried this case before. Again, she's court appointed. And so I don't want to like disparage her too much, but she is clearly someone who buys into woke ideology. She's got her pronouns in her bio, all this stuff, but I'm not going to disparage her. You know, again, until she goes on, someone said in the comments, you know, until she goes on The View and starts, you know, spewing woke nonsense, I'm going to reserve judgment. She's just doing her job. But I'm going to keep up. You know, we've got a court appearance next week, so we're going to have to see exactly what we're going to see here. But it's going to be interesting. Make sure you keep it locked in here. Subscribe to the channel. If we can find Tyler's little boyfriend, that would be interesting. Or if the federal government would comment on whether or not he's in protective custody, that would also be interesting. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.